It is an early October morning near Beaune, France, the heart of the province of Burgundy. This is home for some of the world's finest wines from vineyards like Montrachet, Bouchard, and many others. The fall harvest has been completed, and now the leaves on the grapevines have turned a golden yellow, the color that has given this region the French name Côte d'Or, which means hillside of gold. In another part of the province, before the sun has peeked over the horizon, we're getting ready to see this part of France in a way few people get to, from the air, in what's called the Great French Balloon Adventure. These are the balloons of the Bombard Society, an American company formed about a half-decade ago by a man named Buddy Bombard. His dream was to show Americans and other non-French a part of this country they could never see on a regular tour. And since he was a balloonist, he figured this was the best way. As the balloons begin to take shape, there is a feeling in the air of excitement and adventure, knowing you're about to see some of the most beautiful countryside in all of France. One by one, the balloons begin to rise up to the treetops, waiting to float majestically over the vineyards and farmlands that make up Burgundy. But just before we take off, pilot Jack Campbell has a quick lesson on how the hot air balloon works.
Okay,
Eric, are you ready?
yeah, you want to teach me how to work this thing?
Sure do. Give it some heat, we'll rise. You pull this red line, lets hot air out the top, we'll come down. Over here you have an altimeter, tells you how high you are.
That's all there is to this?
That's all there is. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see you.
Wait a minute. No, let's be serious. Let's go.
Within a few seconds, you're over the rooftops, then the trees, and as free as the wind. The sky has become a place where you and the birds can watch the beauty of the countryside pass below. As far as the eye can see, there is farmland, vineyards, and small villages that have been here for centuries.
I love floating over the villages, the medieval villages. The people here live a relatively simple life and are extremely thrilled by our presence. They get very excited, come running out of the houses, waving. We'll be passing over a village up ahead here about a quarter mile. In the fall also, this time of year, the color is just magnificent. The trees, the vineyards have just turned from gold to red, and they're absolutely magnificent.
It's almost like looking at a painting.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I don't think you ever fully realize that the natural patterns that nature has put on the earth. You look down at the fields and everything has an order from up here. When you're standing on the ground, it just looks like a field next to the road. But everything has an order from up here. Even a forest has a shape.
When villagers see the side of these 8-story balloons pass overhead, most stop and stare or wave. Now, you might think that these rural people would fear or dislike these alien objects, bringing foreign visitors to their back doors. But quite the opposite is true, and that is evident when you land. Sometimes there is a Frenchman who will be there to greet you with a taste of Burgundian hospitality.
Jack, is this guy for real?
I don't know. It's his field. I hope he isn't upset with us here. I don't think it's planted. Oh my God, what's he got?
He's bringing us wine.
Hey!
Bonjour.
Bonjour, monsieur! Bonjour, ça va?
Does he,
Good morning!
what does he wait for the balloon to come?
Bonjour, monsieur.
Ah, fantastic!
Ah oui.
Do we have any glasses, or we just,
I don't know.
Monsieur, do we,
No.
Now, while we're on the ground, there is also a tour of a small wine village and a visit to a cave or cellar where wine is aged.
Eric, this is the best part about coming down from the balloon rides. We're in the aging cellars here of Vincent Moufou. He owns the cellar in Santenay in Burgundy.
We get to test
We
some of the
have a
wine
little
now?
taste here. Merci.
Now, what kind of a wine is this?
That's 1980 vintage Santenay from our own domain.
Swirl it. And then you have to spit it in there because if you taste too many wines, then
We spit it out?
you spit it out.
Yes.
Seems like a waste of good wine.
Sniff it and
Now, this wine isn't ready yet.
No, not yet. It will be ready to bottle in 16 to 18 months' time and really good to drink in 2 or 3 years' time.
Very good.
As you leave the ground again to resume the hot air balloon trip over Burgundy, It might strike you as odd that a Frenchman didn't think of doing this first to make a buck. After all, it was two French brothers who invented the hot air balloon in 1783. But Bombard Society General Manager Peter Granoff says the answer is simple.
I think that it took the mentality of an American to generate something like this, an individual who has a real spirit of adventure. That seems to be the common denominator amongst the people who participate in our program, is a spirit of adventure and a desire to make contact with another culture in a way that, or to an extent that wouldn't normally be possible as a traveler in this country.
And as you land for the final time on this great French balloon adventure, it's easy to see this really is a way to experience the French countryside and its people in a most unique way. Instead of looking at these balloons as a nuisance and the foreign visitors as intruders, these people of the land come out to greet you with smiles and curiosity.
Ah, américain? Ah, oui. Ah, ben, excuse, hein?
And for just a few moments, two peoples from different parts of the world with very different lifestyles seem no different at all.